Hey guys, just a little update here on the future deer fat hand soap. The amount of fat building up in the bottom is growing a lot. So the fat is rendering down into liquid. Now I'm sure down on the bottom of that somewhere is water, but as of yet I'm not seeing any water. I'm seeing just a lot of fat. Oil, basically. It's being rendered into oil. I haven't stirred it or done anything, but the volume has reduced by 2/3 just sitting here on top of the stove. Now, of course, there's going to be some meat and some contaminants which we'll filter out later. I may just give this a little stir and chop it up some so that all of the fat is under the level of the oil, though. Might help mix that in better. So I've got a really thick, strong spatula to do this with. It's very firm. Sort of cut that up and push it down a little. It might help by breaking that up some. It might help that to become rendered more fully and easily. Stir it, mix it, which as of yet I haven't done at all. Now, I've dabbled in rendering fat before on a stovetop, and I realized that with our modern appliances, this was a couple years back, it uses a lot of energy, and I ended up giving up before I finished. But with a wood stove, you have the benefit of being able to just leave it for as long as it takes. Now, back in the old days, I'm sure they probably used higher temperatures, and I'm sure they probably ate most of this. I'm sure it wasn't very healthy for them either. But I'm gonna just let this sit here on a relatively mild temperature on the wood stove and let that continue to render down into oil. We'll see how long it takes. This is day 2. Morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning. Now, this video is a bit segmented because I have been programming DIY Tube quite heavily and working on it extensively now. So I spend a lot of time on the computer these days. Why is winter pretty? The absence of color is white, but it can be pretty. So, I'm going to be honest with you. There's something here. I haven't cleaned the solar panels yet in the electronic shop. I haven't been using the electronic shop, so I haven't cleaned them. But I've got to get those batteries topped off. So now, I saw somebody in the comments asking, what about an ice scraper? Well, if you're very careful, yes. But you gotta be very careful with that because you don't want to hurt the panels. Now in this case I can reach, on these panels I can reach everything, so it's fine. This is a lower rack than the other, and the panels are shorter than the other. I don't know if you guys realize that or not, but the other rack is much taller. Now, I've got to get this snow off first. Now it may be possible with the sun shining if it comes up, but it's way below the trees right now, so I don't know. If the sun shines on these, it'll warm this up and clean off the snow and ice. But I can't count on it. And now I do need to get these batteries charged. It's very important I get them topped off now. The only thing running in there is the Bedini motor, which is using a little bit of power. Very little, but still. Now, the Bedini motor is connected to the old motorhome batteries, those old ones. and they're up at a pretty decent voltage, but if I take off the Bedini motor, they start to drain down slowly, partly from the cold and partly from age. So I don't dare take them off the charge. But the Duracell batteries that's running the shop, I think it's Duracell I have in there, they are being charged by these panels, which are covered in snow, so that's a problem. Now this panel is broken up from being hit by a stone one time, long ago, so I'm not going to scrape it with the ice scraper. I'm going to sweep it off and leave it at that. I'm going to sweep it as good as I can, but this one has been compromised, so I don't dare put any stress on it. Now this was damaged years ago and it still works perfectly well. This happened back in New York. A stone flew out the front of a lawnmower and flew about 20 feet through the air, hitting my solar panel, which, how could you have prevented that? How could you foresee that? Nothing I could have done about that. Even at this height, if a stone flew 20 feet through the air, it could hit them. Now, like I said, this one I'm just going to scrape as good as I can and leave it for the sun to clean off, because I don't want to hurt it. Just do as good as I can. Now there's no warming up of the weather in sight. So only if the sun does a job will it be any good. Now here, ice scraper, very carefully and gently. Just like a car windshield. Very careful. Now you may notice I'm not even hitting the glass surface. I'm just scraping off the worst of it, the surface coating, so that I can get a little bit of sunlight through, which will then help melt that. I'm barely pushing down on this. I'm being very gentle because I don't want to damage the surface of the panel. See? No real pressure. Just get that stuff scraped off the surface enough. The sun will do the rest today. The sun will clean them off. But at least now I'll be able to start getting some power in there through that layer of ice. With the snow on there, nothing's gonna happen. Also, once it starts to heat up, these heat up fast. It's amazing how fast the solar panels will heat up. Once they start to heat up, that snow and ice will start to melt quickly. It's amazing. So everything very gentle. No stress on the glass. All right. And then we hope for the best that the sun will take care of that today. Can maybe brush this a little bit more, but there's not a lot I can do for this one at all without damaging it. I have to be very, very careful brushing this one as well. Now, I've seen a lot of suggestions about hot water. Hot water will probably shatter the glass, or warm water, because you put warm water on glass and it'll shatter on a cold glass. So I've seen somebody mention salt water, but the salt could rust the aluminum framing with time, so that's not really a good thing. De-icer might work, but the key thing is this is a special glass, solar glass, and I don't want to do anything that might damage the surface or coat it with anything that could restrict the ultraviolet rays reaching the panels. A lot of people suggest Rain-X would stop the sticking of the snow and the ice and the water, yeah, but we don't know the ultraviolet, the capabilities of that passing ultraviolet light. One day I'm probably going to try to contact Rain-X and ask them, but I highly doubt they've done an experiment with ultraviolet rays, because I mean, how many people would put it on solar panels? Then again, it might be a worthwhile study if somebody had that technology to test that, because then Rain-X could sell billions of dollars worth of stuff. I certainly for one would do it, but not knowing if it blocks UV rays, or the sun's rays I should say, not knowing if it blocks any of the sun's rays, how much light passes through, I'd hate to risk putting any coating on my panels. So that at least is going to get some power. The electronics lab will charge up today.
Yeah. Are you sweeping? Not all the garbage. It's dirty. Just sweep.
Are you working, Michelle?
Yeah, she's busy.
Are you helping your mom?
Yeah, she's busy.
Oh, you're gonna have to sweep her feet.
She's busy, Daddy.
Melanie, I'm afraid this is gonna be an endless job, though.
Yeah, she's serious.
She's very serious.
No ending. Yeah.
Oh boy. She keeps going. Hey guys, I've got to process some firewood since we're burning a lot, and I need to get this. This is dry and cured, but it's too long, so I've got to cut it to size and get it ready to go on the wood stove. So I'm going to fire up the saw, get it warmed up, and start cutting this down. I've only got about 40 minutes though to work, because we got to run an errand, but see what I can get done for now. Alright guys, well, fair amount. I think I got more than half the pile done. But we got to run, got an errand to run. So, we'll see what comes next. Hey guys, day 3. Looking almost all liquefied. Now I did read it takes as much as 4 days or so for this. Or more, because our wood stove is not all that hot. But it's all turning into liquid now. I don't know how well that shows up. We'll keep it going. Well, I brought out some wood. This was heaped up a little bit earlier today. And then we got about 2 inches of snow, fluff, on top of my firewood. But I hauled in a load over here in front of the chalet. Well, that's it, guys. It's nighttime. It's Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grade Project. Another day is done. Please like, subscribe, and share. Follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully off the grid and self-sufficient on a budget. And please, if you want a troll-free zone, check out DIY Tube Video Community, www.diytube.video. I upload all my videos there as well, and the comments are clean. And feel free, if you got a channel, to come on over, guys. Upload your videos there as well. Talk to you later.